Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua, Bahasham Adawakodash, double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Right. Now, this is a video that I wanted to do concerning a comment that I see over here, which is a comment of a month ago, but I just saw it literally like now. So I thought to myself, let me make a video about it because it's a short video and it's about what this brother asked here. I don't know if it's a brother or a sister. I don't know. So I'll just read what he said. Like, what do you think of this verse, Job 42, verse 11? The Job 42:11 will also happen to the entire nation of Israel, which are the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos, Native Americans, are going, because we're going to be better off in the end than in our beginnings. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 3, for lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith the Lord. Also, I remember the book of Psalms 126 also shows you that we're going to be in a good state. The whole chapter. It's a small chapter, like 7 or 8 verses, Psalms 126. And I will bring... What? And I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. So, because Job chapter 42 verse 11 says this, where I'll start at 10. And Yahweh turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. So that's going to be our blessing too. We're going to have more than we had back in the days. We're going to be ultimate. Verse 11, Job 42:11. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before. And they did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him, and comforted him over all the evils that the Lord had brought upon him. Right, and he didn't do anything. Job chapter 9, verse 22-23 shows you that the Most High destroyed the perfect and the wicked, and he laugh at the scourge if you die. And also the book of Job chapter 10, it shows you that he had done nothing, and then the Lord basically still destroyed him. Right, so going on now, it says here, over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. And that's also all the evil that the Lord had brought upon our people. But we kind of had that coming, because he already warned us in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 not to do certain things. And then in the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6, it shows you that, no, it's 2 Maccabees chapter 7, right? It shows you that we got what we, wait, let me show you. Right, as you can see here, Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us. So, the nation of Israel has a curse upon them. We are not the cursed people. The cursed people are the Edomites. They are the cursed people of the Lord. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Edom. This word, Idumea, is another word for Edom. They changed that word on purpose so that you don't know who it is. Because this word only comes in four times in the Bible. It only repeats itself 4 times in the Bible. So what is this word? Where did it come from? It doesn't have a beginning. It doesn't have an ending. But if you go here and you type in Idumea, then it will show you that it's Edom. Edom and Idumea are two related but distinct terms. No, it isn't. They're lying to you once more. Edom. It is Edom. What does Idumea mean? Another name for the city of Edom, meaning red. Basically, another name for, not the city of Edom, the people Edom. They're trying to trick you again. It's not no damn city. Yes, in the scriptures, sometimes cities are called after people, like Caleb Ephrath, right? Is called after Caleb and his wife. That's one example. Genesis chapter 25, verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same pottage, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, because he loved this. Therefore was his name called Edom. Right. And so Edom, there's the first time that the word Edom ever comes in existence in the scriptures, because his name was his born name was Esau. And here, Genesis 36 and 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. And so it says here, 36 verse 9, Genesis 36 verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So they're the Edomites. And they hate that word. Anyway, Idumea, upon the people of my curse, the judgment. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse, I'll go to 15. Now, wait, 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power, Yahweh thy power, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. But if you read this chapter, you will see that we were put below all nations of all on the planet Earth. And in the verse 15, from verse 15 until the end, all the curses that our people are going through right now are written here. 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right. That's why we don't have successful stores. That's why we can't feed ourselves and stuff like that. We are watered, we are fed, we are clothed, we are housed here in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies with Yahweh thy power, which Yahweh shall send against thee. In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness we shall serve our enemies. So we're being fed like cattle, we're being watered like cattle, we're being clothed like some sort of Barbie doll and a G.I. Joe thing, putting clothes on her. They clothe us. That's why you have these type of clothing that exist, sexy toddler clothing, and then you have the so-called black female buying these things for their daughter because they think it look cute. They're not thinking. Women are deprived of wisdom. Even the Edomites are dressing their daughters like that. The fact that this exists is a disgrace in itself. But who is allowing this? Who is doing it? The Edomite. That's why you have toddler modeling type of things and stuff like that. No, you have these beauty patches for children. Yeah, it should be banned. Even Google shows you that. It should be banned, yeah. Yeah, it should be banned. Beauty pageants for children should be banned. Yes, it should. Because this is what they're doing. Look at that. Yeah? You're not supposed to. It's a $5 billion industry on child beauty pageants and stuff like that. Come on, man. But who is doing this? Esau's doing this, So, and in want of all things, you want a house, you want a car, you want anything and everything in existence, you want it. Well, then you have to go to your enemies for it. A fruit fly is just bugging me over here. But anyway, let me go back to over here and not make the video too long. Oh yeah, just remember that, which is Psalms 126. Yeah, you can read this chapter for yourself if you have the time, but I'm going to just glance over it. This is the same thing that will happen to us collectively, just like how it happened to Job. Psalms 126 and 1. When Yahweh turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, Yahweh had done great things for them. The Lord had done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Yahweh, as the streams in the south, that they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Right, because now you are planting the seeds, for example, of the videos that we do. We're planting a seed into the minds of the Jacob descendants. You know, if you love me, feed my sheep. You know, plant a seed in your mind. John chapter 8 also goes into that. Let me see real quick. The parable of the seeds. Then was it Luke 8, maybe? Yeah, the parable of the seed, you know. The seed is the word of God. And what do you do with seeds? You plant it. So you sow it, right? Oh yeah, here, a sower. A sower went out to sow his seeds. This is the parable, and then this is what and his disciples, Luke 8 and 9. And his disciples asked him, saying, what might this parable be? And he said, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the Heavenly Father, but to others in parables. They're not going to get it. That seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand. Now this is the now the parable is this: the seed of the word. The seed is the word of the Heavenly Father, right? So it shows you that the Lord, He's talking to them in parables because He doesn't want the rest of the Israelites to get it, and the rest of the people of the planet, they're not going to get it. But the salvation is for the Israelites only anyway. But the rest of the people, they're not going to get it. But you have some heathen nations that actually do believe in what we're saying, because I just read it to you here. Well, especially when we're saved. It says that the Lord had done great things for them. See, the people, they will say among the heathen. That shows you that the heathen are not a part of this, because they're going to look at us and be like, wow, the Lord really did great things for them. Now everybody and their mama is looking at the Edomite nation and think, wow, they're so great and successful, and beautiful things is happening to them and around them, and everywhere they go it's all successful. That's why you have guys like Charleston White. He really glorifies how he look. I like him, but I also see that he glorifies, you know, their mixed up breed hair. That he glorifies. He hates dark skin. He says dark skin niggas are ugly and stuff like that. He loves to mix kids, and he says mixed kids race is the future. All that type of bullshit. You know, that's what. And the fact that, you know, like I said, I like him, but he says dumb shit sometimes. But he says, you know, he's a smart fool. That's what he is. He's very smart fool. But yeah, he says also that the Lord, his Jesus, is white. That's what he said. So I can call him a fool because he believes in a caucus God. He said, ain't no nigga Jesus got me out of trouble when I was in jail praying. You know what I'm saying? So he said something like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. It's got too much about it. But he glorifies the so-called straight hair. He calls the woolly haired and nappy headed niggas and stuff like that. He ain't dark skinned. Or he speaks down about them and stuff like that. And he glorifies all these other things that I just said. But anyway, you can clearly see that our people are, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. The fact that our people go to him for guidance and really, when you look at the comment board section of almost any one of his videos, they really glorify this guy. And I was thinking like, wow, the fact that the nation of Jacob really needs these type of people, that shows how nothing we are as a whole, as a collective. Because if you got to go to him, then we're lost. Like I said, he's a very smart fool, a very intelligent fool at that too. You know, intelligence is when you can figure things out for yourself. Smart is like when you're book smart and stuff like that. So he's both. You know, he's very both. But he says dumb shit, you know, especially when it comes to the scriptures and stuff like that. But anyway, enough of that. So they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. So we're sowing in tears right now because you're sowing. Meanwhile, you don't have everything and anything that you actually would want. We have what we need. Sometimes not even that. But when it comes to like survival, we have what we need because the Lord is going to keep you alive. Verse 6. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bringing a precious seed to the elect, shall doubtless come again rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Yeah, you're gonna be full of food. You're gonna be full of prosperity. Food represents prosperity because it represents life, right? So yeah, that part. And let me see, something was here again. Here? No. So back over here. Right. So we'll read it again. Job chapter 42. Let me see how long it is. Job chapter 42, verse 11. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters and all they that had been his of his acquaintance before, and did eat with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evils that the Lord over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she asses, which are donkeys. Right. So basically, the Lord multiplied him in the end time, and rejoiced over him, and he was of course blessed, and he was rejoicing. And the Lord did that too. But in the beginning, he was mourning, just like us. Through slavery, a lot of people of ours didn't want to have dark skin. They don't want to have the woolly hair. You know, all that there. And they want to mix up themselves. That's because they want to get rid of the curses that's upon them, especially the so-called black female. She's running. Look, she's running to the caucus male, trying to get them light babies so that they will be prosperous in this world. But the caucus female, she's actually running toward the dark-skinned man, trying to basically curse herself, because we are under the curses, but they don't know that they're the cursed people. But she doesn't think like that. She just, well, not all of them, but she just basically wants to go a step down, and step down from her little pedestal that she is. Because if she's with the caucus, she's gonna live good. She's not gonna have a stigma upon her in this world, in this day and age. She's not gonna have a stigma upon her. She's gonna be, free. She can come in free. She can go free around her own people and stuff like that. But as soon as she's so-called basically a nigger lover, then she's gonna have a hard time, especially around her own people, right? Because they're gonna boycott her. Some of them are gonna kill her, stuff like that. So she steps down when she actually comes to us. To me, that's the definition of love. And the other one, the so-called black female, she steps up, right? And yeah, and therefore, it's a prosperity thing, because yeah, they're trying to take care of themselves, but the Lord is going to switch that up, and then they're going to be ashamed. Micah chapter 10, verse 7, verse 10. They're going to be ashamed. The so-called black female is going to be ashamed. The so-called Latina female is going to be ashamed, for having an Edomite male. And by that time, judgment's just going to come upon you and your family. Anyway, because it's going to come upon him and his kids. So you're going to be right there standing next to him, right? If you don't denounce what you have done, because all sins can be forgiven, right? Who can? Anyway, except the sin of blasphemy. And let me go on. The caucus had us working for free. Wait. We did this also in Egypt when we left Egypt and took the Egyptians their gold and silver and all that they had and stuff like that. The Edomites, I can't type Edomite or else they're gonna delete the comment. I can't do that. The caucus had us working. The Edomites had us working for free all these 250 plus years, and even until now. By the way, it's more than that, because it started in 1492. They started the rape, rob, murder, the Native Americans, massacre and stuff like that, genocide, and enslavement, because they were the first slaves. They really don't talk about that much, but they was even sold into Europe. They brought them from there into Europe, and then the Native Americans basically, throughout the time and stuff like that. Then they brought the so-called Africans, but the first slaves came from Spain. There were Moors and stuff like that, and you had also other sellouts that helped them, the Edomites. And then basically, yeah, the rest is history. And yeah, the rest is history. hidden history, but it's coming out. It's coming out bit by bit. But like I said, I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not gonna go up in there talking about that right now. Now it says here 250 years, even until now, in 2024, they keep on taxing us and making billions off of us. The hair product things of so-called black people is a yearly $1 billion industry that they keep on going by keeping our people thinking. Huh? By keeping our people thinking. What? Oh. Keeping our people thinking and saying wicked stuff like they got good hair and we don't, which makes our women insecure and wanting to buy their hair products to make our hair like theirs. Exodus chapter 12, verse 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word. Wait. Right, sorry about that. Voice is cracking up. Now it says here, Exodus chapter 12, verse 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. So we took all their stuff, basically the fancy things. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such as they required. And they spoiled the Egyptians, so we robbed them in the end. In verse 35, we borrowed. It says in verse 35 we borrowed, but in verse 36 spoiled, which means robbed. Or in this case, we took their things without giving it back. Because remember, we worked for these people for 400 years, and they never gave us anything. You know, slavery stuff. You don't pay your slaves. So, yeah, taking their gold is the least we could have done, which is, right? We should have butchered them, but then again, yeah. Anyway, so let me see. Yeah, so basically that's it. That's what I think of Job chapter 42, verse 11. I think of Job chapter 42, verse 11. Let me read it again. It says here, then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil the Lord had brought upon him. And that's happened to us, because it shows you right here, Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Heavenly Father. Why? Because we have sinned against him. Oh yeah, I was thinking about that too. Maccabees. Yeah, it just jumped in my head here. Let me read it. Wait. Verse 12. And he had confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judge us. So the heathen nations are our judges. Right? And you can read about that here, for example. Deuteronomy 32 and 31. Let me just put this one here. 32 and 31. It says, for their rock, their God is not as our rock, which is the rock. In this case, it was our rock is Yahweh, but now our rock is Yahweh Shai, because we build our house upon the not on sand, because it shows you right here. Let me see. 1 Corinthians 10, chapter 4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahweh Shai. Right. So the angel in the midst of, if you read the book of Exodus chapter 14, you will see that in the midst of the waters, when Moses split the water, right, the angel of the Lord was actually before the camp, removed himself and went behind us, and then he was the one that was actually hindering. He was between the Egyptians and between the camp of Israel, and he was hindering them, and it was a cloud of cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these Israelites. So in the night the Israelites had light, but the Egyptians was in darkness. You know, they was in darkness, and we walked on dry ground. The Egyptians pursued and died. But anyway, going on back over here. So our rock, that spiritual rock, is Yahweh Shai. So here, our rock now is, well, here in Deuteronomy 32 and 31, it was Yahweh. He still is our rock, by the way, until now. But now he gave his hand unto, he gave us into the hand of his son, Yahweh Shai. So he is our rock. John chapter 10, verse